This is DP, and you are listening to DP Talking Sports this week with Mick and Alan from KBER Radio in Salt Lake City. Enjoy this week's trip around the sports world and entertainment. Enjoy, and thanks for listening.
And with your sports, here he is, DP.
Now I know I've made it because I officially have the longest intro in the history of radio.
And it didn't even include Chocolate Rain.
That's brilliant stuff. Outstanding.
You deserve it, DP.
Thank you so very much.
Hey, let's we got PJ Walsh in the studio with us, so you'll know. But let's just what is going on in the NBA?
It's what we talked about a week ago. You have parity, you have balance. I said in the West that, as a matter of fact, in both conferences, that the matchups were the thing. And if you were the Spurs, nobody was thrilled about getting that draw. Nobody was going to be thrilled with that draw. If you're the Pacers and you get the Hawks and you get a team with a Millsap and a Korver and a Teague, you're not exactly going to cakewalk through your first round. And if you're the Bulls and you're the 4th seed and you can't fend off John Wall and Bradley Beal, and I told you they're guys, because the nation doesn't know about them doesn't mean that they aren't quality players. You don't get to see the Wizards on national TV on a regular basis because they're young guys that are just developing. But, yeah, you're getting exactly what you thought. Brooklyn's a problem. The Wizards are a problem. Look, I like Dirk. I didn't think he'd be up 2-1 on the Spurs.
No, never would have thought that.
Didn't think it, but, I mean, again, that's a guy that's won a ring, and he was the guy that helped that team win a ring. It's what we talked about as well. Can you turn on something that's been turned off for several months?
It depends on what. It depends on
people criticize Popovich and the Spurs for going in cruise control.
It depends on what she looks like.
Yeah. I mean, now you got to hit the on switch, and now you're having trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, but which team of the teams that are down right now are you the least worried about that you think they still will come back?
The Spurs.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I mean they're just that good. They're just that good. I think, this may be the year where age, has finally caught up to them.
Could be.
That the big three are finally old enough where somebody can catch them. But Oklahoma City's in trouble.
Yeah, they are.
They're the ones in trouble. Look, that Memphis team the last few years of the playoffs have created havoc for whoever they played in the first 2 rounds. As a matter of fact, you got a quality big man, actually 2 quality big men, and you're getting. I'd say Michael Conley is making a bid to become considered an elite point guard.
Yeah, he's good.
That's it's kind of nice. But that's what happens now. The guys that can play, the Conleys and Bradley Beals and John Walls and guys that don't normally get a lot of press and don't get a lot of coverage, get seen on the national scale. LaMarcus Aldridge, who gets being seen now, and finally, wow, where's this guy been? Well, no, he's been there. Most of the masses haven't seen him that way. So that's what playoff basketball. Look, it's Sweet 16. You see folks that you don't normally see. You get to see them with a greater resume because you're seeing a series instead of one game. But the NBA's got to be thrilled that the upstarts, they've made their presence known, and they've kind of shaken the foundation of the league a little bit because all the established stars are now on the bubble, and they've got to step up and be great or be questioned.
So, yeah, true.
If I were to ask you which of the struggling West teams has surprised you the most, would Dallas be your first choice, and would Memphis even be a surprise, or is that what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you're right on, Mick, that Dallas, only because it's the Spurs. I mean, I think if Dallas were matched up with any other team in the West, and they were up 2-1, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But and that's the question is, I mean, the Spurs and Dallas are very similar. They've got older players. They've got guys that, just as long as you get in, that's all that matters because we really can win. We just needed to rest our guys and not play as hard as we had to. But they're both that team that can turn it on. And if Dirk wants, he can get 30, he can get 40.
Yep.
Then you've got I'm trying to think of Vince Carter. I mean, some other guys that have been around for a long time but are still good.
Yeah.
But they just can't play like that all the time.
Well, what's big man's name for San Antonio?
Duncan?
Duncan. 38 years old today.
Yeah.
Is his birthday is today, and he's 38, and it's like, wow.
So to me, they're like the same team that just had to get there, but now, unfortunately, they got each other, so what are you going to do?
Well, and I all of a sudden, too, have a little bit of nervousness for whichever team wins this series. Their next round is not going to be a gimme by any means.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go into this thing, and like I said, the NBA's done a really good job in developing the new talent and the guys that are coming up. But if you walk into this thing and you get, well, let's say for the sake of this, that you get Portland or the Clippers, you're not really thrilled about that either.
No.
Well, let's say you end up having to face Golden State, who changes the way everybody plays against them. And then on a good note, if you're lucky, you get Dwight Howard and James Harden.
Yeah.
You know, the West is loaded. Everybody knows that. And I think from 1 to 8, they're better than the East. But, again, I'll ask you this question. And the other shocking surprise in this thing, and I don't know how much of a surprise it is because I told you a week ago, if you're the Pacers and you have the pressure of the 1 seed, do you really want to play guys with that much playoff savvy? You know, Millsap's been in a conference final. Korver's been in a conference final. Teague was a guy. I mean, they knew that he was going to be a player. Is that who you really want to face? Do you want to face guys that aren't afraid of you and have been places you've never been, or at least have had that kind of success? So the rest of this Sweet 16 round of the NBA is really going to be about the matchups. We understand there's talent and depth and there's balance, but the matchups play the thing, and they've got to figure out a way. Think about these top seeds. They've got to figure out a way to get their guys, their best players, with the ball in situations. And unfortunately, you know, George in Indy doesn't always get the ball because he doesn't control it. Dirk can get the ball. Tony Parker has the ball in his hands, and he has control of whether Duncan gets it and where he gets it. Dirk will get the ball and control what everybody else does. That's a key in the rest of that series is whether Duncan. I think Parker has to outplay Nowitzki, not so much Duncan outplay Nowitzki.
Yeah. Well, and now in the NBA, the hunt is on for a new Utah Jazz head coach after deciding now not to renew the contract of Tyrone Corbin. The last time this happened was 1979 when the New Orleans Jazz moved to Salt Lake.
With the record, you mean?
Yeah, some of the names being thrown around are European coach named Ettore Messina, Quinn Snyder, Jim Boylan, but he's kind of been an asshat lately. Boylan has been. He went off on a student reporter when the BYU Cougars slammed the Utes, causing him to get fired. So I don't know if he's even going to be considered.
That was a while ago.
This Utah Jazz coaching team is a spur in the seat of my pants a little bit because, as you guys have talked about, and we've talked about, that there is some element to tanking this year.
Right.
Correct?
Premeditated.
That was the point of the season.
And if the point of the season, and again, there are no coincidences in this thing. There are none. That if the point of the season was to play down and to have less talent on the roster, and to in fact, you know, rate where you rated, which is at the bottom of the conference, then how can you in turn blame Tyrone Corbin for what happened when everything that you did from a business standpoint was to do exactly that?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I look at it as it was never said Tyrone Corbin was fired. It was said that they weren't going to renew a contract.
Yes.
Part of me says he said, I don't want to come back. You guys gave me this, and there's even a question of whether you want me back or not. I don't want to come back then. This was the plan. You got rid of all my talent last year that we got to the playoffs and did really well, and this was the plan, right? We're rebuilding. Now I'm not good enough? Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah. Look, it's your barbecue, Cyrus, as Con Air says. It's your barbecue, but if this is how you're going to do business, And again, understand the stigma that is Utah, and trying to get players that actually can still play in their prime that want to come to Utah and actually do that. And we know that causes some stress to folks, and that now you want a coach who's willing to come to Utah and be in a situation where it's just proven by recent history that the chef doesn't necessarily get to buy the ingredients or determine what the menu is.
Thank you.
And that's not a situation that anybody really is going to die or jump into fire into doing. And those that are willing to come, are they really who you want? Look, you guys know I'm more of a Jim Boylan fan than anybody else in the state of Utah.
Yep.
And I understand from a pro basketball standpoint that he's got far more credibility than he did as a college coach. His success with Popovich and with the Pacers stands on its own. So anybody that questions Boylan as a pro coach doesn't really know basketball and doesn't know what they're talking about. So that there's some local guys there in Utah that will talk about Boylan because of personal differences.
Yeah.
Boylan wouldn't put up with their BS. But I'm all for a man standing up for himself, and that's all that Boylan ever did when he was in Utah.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll take a seat. In a way, it's like almost if they bring the international guy in, start playing more of an international brand of ball, getting more Euro players and those kind of guys in, it could be interesting.
Could be.
Because it's not working the other way.
Well, and it'd be nice to see us do something different.
The word you used was interesting, and that always doesn't correlate to good.
No, you're right.
True.
You're right.
Very true.
And in an NBA league, that's not a European league. That's not. We're not talking about.
Yeah, but we're going there. We're going there. We're wearing the volleyball shirts.
Is LeBron a European? Durant? Are those European players?
But they look good in the European volleyball shirts, dude.
No, like I said, don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for. I'm going to sell you that this is the kind of car you need to drive because it's better for you. Trust me, it's better for you. What do you say to people that tell you, trust me, this is better for you than what you really want? Don't allow the car salesman to get you into a lemon.
Yeah,
don't a
lot of guys get married.
It's the NBA. Success is a clear and conscious thing, and what happened there in Utah was not a recipe for success. It wasn't a path to success, and it certainly wasn't a journey. They chose it. They got it. Now you made the bed. You lay in the wet spot.
Right on. Right on.
Lay in the wet spot. All right, I got to ask you, Johnny Bones Jones, is this his obviously it looks like this is his toughest match. Is this going to be the one?
Well, they were talking about, and again, Dana White as the great salesman of it all, and saying that, well, this one, Teixeira is a guy that can get it done. You share some of the same height issues, length. He's got power and pop, got versatility. But look, I'm not betting against Bones Jones until somebody beats him. And this is not – Teixeira is not the best fighter.
That's what you taught me.
He's not the best fighter in that weight class. He's a great fighter in that weight class, but he's not the best fighter in that weight class. And if Teixeira was the guy, then I would say, why would you put the Anthony Johnson-Phil Davis undercard fight there as the next guy? Because it's a guy that Jones has already beaten, and there's no real sexiness to that. He dominated the guy.
Yeah. Now, and I haven't followed it as closely as I usually like to. Is Bones completely healthy this time? He's been in some of these where he's been injured.
Yeah. Bones is healthy.
All right.
He survived the toughest fight, and what tends to happen is you get better. If you're a great fighter and you have the struggle, you either get better or you go quickly. The time for him to lose was in the last fight where he was on the ropes and was in duress. And he found a way through that. So I tend to believe that in this one, he trained harder, he prepared harder, and I think he's in a better situation to teach Teixeira.
Yeah, I'm excited for this fight. It should be good.
And to get you in the mood.
Yeah, that's a really good card.
Let's give away right now a copy of UFC Best of 2013 on DVD to get you in the right frame of mind. We'll take caller number 3 and we'll hook you up with that right now.
I'm still waiting for my KBER package.
We got some stuff. We're waiting to get a couple of other things in, and as soon as we get those in, we're sending them.
Yeah, we were going to send you a Mick and Allen package, but it's so small.
How small is it?
Well, we were talking. I caught a little bit of you guys with PJ, and you're talking about pictures, package pictures, and the like. You guys are really going out on the edge there in Utah. They need to get you guys under control.
Well, let me ask you, DP, do you want to see that?
Do I want to see your package?
Well, no, just any. Well, not. It's not just the package. It's just the sack.
Well, first of all, in full clarity and being able to explain to folks, I lived with Alan for a time.
That's true.
Things happen. That's all I'm saying.
Things do happen. Yeah. And that's when he said, he goes, I thought you were a dude.
To all that is Alan.
And there's nothing wrong with two grown men snuggling.
Yeah.
And I said, as long as I was the fork, I was cool with it.
Hello!
In the MLS.
No, look, it's I forget who the comedian. I guess it was Tater Salad who said. He goes, yeah. Anybody says he's a guy and he doesn't like to see a package. He goes, well, you like a little adult film, don't you? The guy says, yeah. He goes, well, in that point, and when you watch the film, there's a beautiful woman and there's a guy and right there. He goes, and don't you like it when the man's just kind of not in the picture? And he goes, no, I liked it. And then you realize, oh my goodness.
Goodness.
Yeah, but see, that's totally different because in those movies you go, wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. It's like a freak of nature.
You're standing in a completely different room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to watch yourself when you talk about it. Look, I don't know why anybody would want to see any of us naked. Truth be told, from a man's perspective, I think women. I love women and I love everything about women. So for me, I don't know why any woman would ever want to see a man because we're just not aesthetically beautiful to me.
We look like an unfinished job.
I don't know why you want me to take this shirt off, but hey, since it's part of the deal, I guess I got to go.
In the MLS,
Mick keeps trying to change the subject.
Real Salt Lake,
I know he is. I
undefeated,
like to take him to deep water.
taking a 3-0-4 record. They're second in the West with that record. They'll be at home tomorrow night. Vancouver's in town, 7:30.
So you're undefeated and you're second.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, you got those 4 ties with 3 wins, but I'll tell you what, that is such a great record.
No kidding.
3-0-4.
Ties are like kissing your Utah sister.
And she was a great French kisser,
Yeah,
too.
but it's
See, it's amazing. Mick, he's a swimmer. He just can't help it.
he can't.
In the water.
He just jumps in. Jumps in.
The Salt Lake Bees, Reno, they lost 1-6. The Bees will play Reno again. I think they got a series through Sunday in Reno. So,
and I'm going to take Mick. I'm going to take you through the code here. You do this, and it's adorable to me. But like you just said, Reno, the Bees lost to Reno 1-6. Stop it.
okay.
Stop it.
Stop
Okay.
it.
Stop it,
Stop
Mick.
doing it.
Stop it now.
Sorry.
All right. Anything else we're missing?
Yeah, what about
No,
Michael
I think
Pineda?
this
Got
week,
suspended
the folks here,
10 games.
Two things here on this side. NASCAR, they're going to Richmond, and that's a big race. But they've got their honorary driver, Lee Carr, RG3. He's back, and he's doing NASCAR. And that's
Wow.
when you know you're a star. When the brother gets to drive the lead in a car in NASCAR, I think that the last one was Darius Rucker. So that kind of puts you in
Darius
into the
Rucker,
lead
really.
category.
Wow. So Hootie and RG3. I don't know if that's the.
So I guess RG3 becomes the blowfish.
Come on.
He thinks pretty well.
Yeah, I tell you what though, it's that slippery slope when you start becoming a rock star and forgetting what you're doing.
Yep.
Hey,
That's
man,
right. Be careful. Just
when
while you're there, talk to Dell Earnhardt Jr.
You guys understand. You've been invited to do those sort of things, so be careful jumping the shark. That's all.
And keep listening. We'll be giving you a chance to win some Mick and Allen Pine Tar coming up in just a little bit.
Yes,
also.
indeed. It's directly off the neck of Pineda.
To Pineda, just a little behind the neck will get you done.
Just a little behind the neck.
Thank you, DP.
Silly.
Have a fabulous weekend, man.
All right, guys, enjoy yourselves.
See you, Dave.
I'll be waiting for my mail.
Okay, man.
Okay, yeah, so it'll be just a small package.
This is DP, and thanks for listening to this week's edition of DP Talking Sports. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Enjoy, and I will see you guys next week.